Sesien star upimit mudiarn femilael vlogi musai sifadiasien, tan abar uply kitis pov, you just got home from the essential date night. You know the one. The one every parenting blog says you have to save your marriage from the soul crushing vortex of toddler chaos. You spent 120 on mediocre pasta and talked about your kid. The whole time, the door clicks shut. A beat of silence. Then, the sound, not a cry. A full system meltdown. A siren of pure, unadulterated betrayal coming from the nursery. It's Milo. And it's directed at you, Silas Owen Ishian's 38 and Linnae 35. We just had a romantic evening. Smiles freeze, then shatter. This is the parental equivalent of your stock crashing 80% in pre-market trading. All gains wiped. Eat, je vis. Oh, okay. Metrics. We were gone for 2 hours. Grandma has the highest NPS score of any caregiver in our network. Bedtime routine was followed to the letter. We have the checklist. So why is our core product having a complete operational breakdown the second the founders walk back in? Leon A.V. Oh, he's looking at me like I just canceled Bluey. No, worse. Like I am the villain in Bluey. This, right here, is the universal startup pitch of parenthood. The problem every parent invests in 24/7 with their entire emotional venture capital attachment. The promise is simple. Be present. Be consistent. Be loving. The return on investment, ROI, is a secure, happy kid, and the failure metric, these tears, this hysterical, gut-wrenching rejection upon re-entry. Hema USSCs IFTSE DRMETSCO FILHB Committee E. C. A. Lena reading a parenting book titled The Secure Base. Highlighted passages. Nodding. C&B Ethan, at 2 a.m., scrolling. Why does my baby cry when I hold him? On his phone. The blue light illuminating his face of despair. A CNC, the family goals, Pinterest board, laughing babies, calm parents. A big red X animates over it, Linnae, to Ethan, whispering. Did we break him? Is this the bug in the code? We followed the damn manual. Each and V. Oh, this is the founder's dilemma. You build the perfect protocol. You execute the playbook. You do everything the top tier advisors, the doctors, the sleep consultants, the Instagram therapists tell you to do. And your most important user still screams like you're deploying a virus. Let's talk data. The parenting industry is a 500 billion global market. Sleep training apps, emotional intelligence toys, neuro, science-backed flashcards. We're all chasing the same KPI, a well-adjusted child. We treat tears like a system error, a log file pointing to failure. Missed nap, error 404, sleep not found. Hungry, error 520, bad bottle gateway. Wants mom, error 401, unauthorized parent detected. So we troubleshoot, we pivot, we gaslight ourselves into thinking we missed a step. Lean. Maybe the pajamas are wrong. Maybe the sound machine is on the wrong frequency. Maybe he just likes grandma's vibe better. Techen. Don't say that, that's the narrative we cannot afford. Hen the camere pushsnon mi ilos tr stracade face he tras hey t apak tnatch. Here's where the story always goes. The guilt. The internal post-mortem. You review the footage of your day, looking for the moment you failed. You become your own worst board of directors, grilling yourself on emotional logistics. It feels personal. A rejection of your leadership, your love. This moment has taken down bigger parents than us. It's why the mommy wine culture meme is a billion-dollar industry. It's why dads just gonna check email at 8 p.m. and surfaces at 11. The perceived failure is too acute. The user feedback is too brutal. We're looking at Milo's tears as a bug report. But what if we're reading the data wrong? What if this isn't a failure of the system, but the system working exactly as designed? Think about the most sophisticated tech in the world. It's not the quiet humming server, it's the alarm, the blaring, unignorable signal that says, "Pay a TNT own. Salmatian ikian requirs or fias, nanobu?" A fire alarm isn't a critique of your fire prevention. It's the core function. A server crash alert isn't an insult to your engineers. It's the essential feedback loop. A plummeting stock ticker isn't about your feelings. It's raw, actionable data. So what if Milo's tears aren't a sign of failure, but a sophisticated, targeted signal from his brain? Not a cry of, "You abandoned me," but a biological alert siren screaming ter 8 thmn t prama aftiivitated. Imar kerjair utiger itayan ranji, einen tia t kalanatia siki and ce. By awemians nesi sarwai. The tears aren't the product breaking. They're the login screen. Hamiac stopes. Sididium silla and ce, savi far milos qiefs. He's looking at them now. Ice wide swimming, locked onto Lena's face. The scream has downgraded to a shaky, rhythmic sob. It's not random noise anymore. It's a call, and it's waiting for a response. Ethan looks at Lena looks at Milo. The entire failed date night narrative is hanging in the air, ready to be internalized as another entry in the ledger of parental debt. But what if they're not looking at a loss? What if they're standing in front of the most valuable, volatile, and misunderstood merger and acquisition of their lives? And the deal is finally Lo, Milaush and Erikagi Out Throgh Kiribi Sluts. Now Timivng, Kini Indiskiin, Nar Atorev. Oh. Let's talk about the most critical startup in human history. The one that gets zero VC funding, has a 100% user acquisition rate at birth, and whose failure can tank the entire enterprise for decades. We're talking about the brain's attachment protocol. Nar Atorv. Oh. In the 1970s, a psychologist named Mary Ainsworth ran the ultimate beta test. She called it the strange situation. Think of it as a stress test for the core emotional operating system. 8 sequences. 20 minutes. One objective: see how the baby codes its primary caregiver. 1. The baby, Milo and Lion enter the lab. Milo explores. 2. A stranger's RHR enters, chats with Lena, then slowly engages Milo. 3. Lina gets up and leaves the room. Milo is alone with the stranger. 4. Linen returns. The stranger leaves. Narrative VO. And this is where the data gets wild. Based purely on the reunion, that 90-second window when mom walks back in, Ainsworth could predict, with staggering accuracy, the kids' future relations. She cracked the code. She found 3 main user types. Type A, the avoidant beta. On screen, a baby who barely glances at Lena when she returns, keeps playing, seems independent. Narrav. Oh. This user has learned the server is unreliable. Requests for connection often timed out. So, they build a local cache. They self-soothe. They go silent. In the business world, this is the founder who never delegates, trusts no one, and burns out because they think needing help is a system flaw. Type B, the secure standard. On screen, a baby who cries when Lena leaves, goes to her immediately when she returns, and is quickly comforted. Then he goes back to exploring. Narrator VO. The gold standard. The user knows the server is stable. They can ping it loudly and get a consistent, warm response. The crisis is resolved. the connection is re-established, and they return to their core function, exploring the world. This is the healthy company culture. The team that can flag a 5-alarm fire, get leadership's full attention, fix it, and pivot back to work without trauma. Type C, the anxious ambivalent build. On screen are Milo. He becomes hysterical when Lena leaves. When she returns, he reaches for her but then arches away, kicks, cries harder. He's angry and clingy. He can't be soothed. Naruto Rs V. O. And here's our build. The most confusing, heart-breaking data set. The user's experience with the server is inconsistent. Sometimes it's lightning fast. Sometimes it's down for maintenance with no warning. The result? A buggy, hyper-vigilant alert system. They can't categorize the caregiver as purely safe or purely dangerous. The file is corrupted. The reunion isn't a relief. It's the moment the pent-up terror of the outage finally has a target. Narrator RV. Oh. Ethan and Lena aren't failing. They're looking at the raw, unfiltered data of their company's most important KPI trust. Milo's brain has just run its own strange situation. Grandma was the benign stranger. The date night was the separation. And right now, Lena walking through that door, Naruto Arzavi. Oh. That's the reunion. The test is live. And his response, the meltdown, the grasping hand, isn't a critique of their parenting. It's a desperate, biological report on the state of his security. Ichan, it's like the system is dumping its entire error log at once. Lena. But why now? He was safe. He was with my mom. He was fine until he saw me. Narado Arvio, to bingo. She's asking the billion-dollar question. Why does the solution trigger the crash? Narado Arvio, here's the pivot. When Milo was with Grandma, his system was in a high alert holding pattern. The amygdala, the internal alarm siren, was blaring. Primar, caregivar, ofefilian, trhrevels elvleted. But the threat was abstract. There was no target. It was just noise and stress. But the second Lena's face entered his visual field, his brain did something profound. It ran a facial recognition scan, a biometric login, match confirmed Pramamar caregivar. And with that confirmation, the amygdala gets a green light. It's not just sounding the alarm anymore. It's initiating the full, catastrophic emergency release protocol. All the fear, the panic, the chemical cortisol that's been flooding his tiny system for the last hour, it now has a destination. Her. It's not that he's unhappy to see her. It's that only she can trigger the safe shutdown sequence for this level of panic. Think of it like this. Your company's servers are on fire. You're on the phone with a level 1 tech support bot. You're frustrated, but you're contained. Then, the actual lead engineer, the only person with the root password, walks into the room. You don't calmly hand them the ticket. You scream, Dumwich Israel Tauk Yos O Loan Teachma Oho Dada Tantar I smell tange. The meltdown isn't because the engineer caused the fire. It's because their presence means the fire can finally, actually, be put out. Lina is Milo's lead engineer. She holds the root password to his sense of safety. Lennon, I'm here. I'm right here, baby. Let it out. I've got you. Narado RV. Oh, and with that touch, that secure physical handshake, the protocol initiates. The safe base is back online. In attachment theory, the safe base isn't a person who prevents all distress. That's a fantasy. The safe base is the launch pad and the landing pad. It's the place you rocket away from to explore, and the only place you can crash, land back to for repairs. Milo's brain, in its raw, pre-verbal state, is categorizing Lena. Is she a stable server? Is her response predictable? Can his terror, in its most ugly, snotty, screaming form, be accepted and regulated? Or will it cause a system rejection? This is the merger, the acquisition. Ethan and Lena are not just comforting a crying baby. They are negotiating the terms of the most important partnership of his life. They are providing the series of funding for his future emotional resilience. The tiers are the term sheet, narrato RV. Oh? So why does the reunion trigger the meltdown? You've seen the business case. You've seen the data. The strange situation, blueprint, the server logic. The answer lies in a sudden, neurobiological release that's about to be unleashed. Hey, upbeat, dramatic reality TV music swells, then cuts to a sharp, tense silence, nar-r-evo. Okay. POV, your Milo's central nervous system. The IPO just crashed. The stock is in free fall. Your lead engineer, Lena, is finally on site, but the servers are literally melting. This isn't a drill. What happens next is the most critical merger and acquisition in human development. We're about to witness the neurochemical buyout. Our narrato arza v. Oh, listen to that sound. That's not just crying. That's the sound of a cortisol dump. Think of cortisol as the company's emergency debt. For the last hour, Milo's little start-up body has been taking on toxic, high-interest stress loans just to stay functional. The interest is compounding by the second. The reunion isn't the problem. It's the liquidity event. Only now, with the safe base, the parent firm, back in the building, can he afford to pay off that debt. The screaming. That's him selling off all his toxic assets at once. It's ugly, it's messy, but it's the only way to avoid total bankruptcy. ETHAN. It's like watching a system reboot in real time. Lina Shaw, I know, it's all out. Let it all out. Narada RV. Oh, and here comes the White Knight Venture Capital. The antidote to the poison. Oxytocin. This isn't just a feel-good hormone. This is the chemical term sheet for trust. The binding legal document of attachment. With every secure touch, every steady heartbeat Milo feels against Lena's chest, her body isn't just comforting him. It's issuing a neurochemical wire transfer. Oxytocin is flooding his system, buying out the cortisol debt. It's sending a direct memo to the amygdala, stand down. The board has been secured. The hostile takeover is over. This is the repair loop. Crisis, safe base return, stress discharge, neurochemical repair. It's the most fundamental business cycle in the human experience. Music shifts to something more analytical, driving Narad Arzavi. Oh, let's talk data. Let's talk about the 20-year longitudinal study. Kids who consistently complete this repair loop, whose meltdowns are met with this kind of predictable, calm regulation, don't just stop crying faster. They build a different balance sheet for life. Their baseline cortisol levels are lower. Their oxytocin receptors are more robust. They develop what we call high emotional liquidity. In a crisis, they can access calm. They can raise capital in the form of self-soothing instead of defaulting to panic. What are Ethan and Lena building right now? They're not just stopping a tantrum. They are writing the operating system for Milo's future relationships. They are providing the seed funding for his resilience. Every time they successfully regulate him, they're proving one thing: you're most bankrupt, broken, Snot-covered emotional state is not too much for, we have the capital to cover it. That's the pitch. That's the lifetime term sheet. Eton, we're here. We're not going anywhere. Narod RV. Oh. And look. Watch the metrics change in real time. The screaming jag shifts. It breaks. It becomes hiccuping sobs. Then just shudders. Milo's fist, clenched in Lena's shirt, begins to loosen. His body, rigid as a board, starts to melt into hers. The merger is finalizing. The acquisition is complete. The lead engineer has not only put out the fire, she's initiated the full system recovery. The server, the safe base, has been tested under catastrophic conditions, and it held. It didn't crash. It didn't reject the bug report. It accepted the merge. A narrator. Oh, silence. Not just any silence. The silence of a market after a crash has bottomed out. The eerie, profound calm where the only sound is the rebuilding. Milo's head is heavy on Lena's shoulder. His eyes are glazed, staring at nothing. He's spent. He's done a full emotional IPO and it wiped him out. Lennon, you're okay. You're so okay. Narar's a V. Oh. So, what's the $1 billion business lesson in the snot and the tears? It's this. Secure attachment isn't the absence of crisis. It's a world-class crisis management firm living inside you. Ethan and Lena aren't raising a kid who won't fail. They're building a future adult whose internal board of directors won't gaslight him when he does. An adult who, when his startup fails or his heart gets broken, won't be hijacked by the amygdala. He'll have the neural pathways, paved by 1,000 moments like this, to access the safe base inside himself. He'll know, in his cells, that collapse is always followed by the possibility of repair. Final shot, Ethan's hand on Lena's shoulder, her head leaning against it. Milo, asleep, sandwiched between them. A portrait of a completed circuit. Narrado RZV. Oh, the deal is done. The terms are unconditional positive regard. The valuation is incalculable. The startup, Milo & Co., has secured its series, a funding from the most dedicated venture firm in the world, his family. The capital isn't cash. It's a neural network of safety. The ROI won't be measured in dollars, but in a lifetime of emotional resilience. He won't remember this moment. Not consciously, but his nervous system will. It will bank this transaction. It will file it under proof of concept. The world is repairable. And 20 years from now, when he's facing his own impossible crisis, his brain won't scream into a void. It will run the protocol. It will access the memory of a steady heartbeat and a whisper in the dark that said, "I've got you." Let it out. It will complete the loop. His music resolves into a single, hopeful note, fade to black. Heinan Rato Arza Viod, foundational security, the first and most important traction. Everything else is growth hacking.